Psalm 89 continues in part 3, verse 41 through 43, and appears to be prophetic of our Christ and a broken church. Verse 41 of 89 reads, "All who pass along the way plunder him. He has become a reproach to his neighbors." If the passage were merely speaking of a vineyard with its walls thrown down so that any passerby could plunder the produce, it would have marginal interest for us. But as a prophetic rendering, it gives us much insight to those who stood below the cross and mocked our Savior, making him out to be an object of ridicule and reproach, thought to be forsaken by God. We can read about this prophetic moment in Matthew 27:39 through 43. The people passing by shouted abuse, shaking their heads in mockery. "Look at him now," they yelled at him. "You said you were going to destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days? Well, then, if you are the Son of God, save yourself and come down from the cross." The leading priests, the teachers of religious law, the elders also mocked Jesus. He saved them. He saved others, they scoffed. But he can't save himself? So he is the King of Israel, is he? Ha! Let him come down from the cross right now, and we will believe in him. He trusted God, so let God rescue him now if he wants him. For he said, "I am the Son of God." Spurgeon writes in the Treasury of David, "They will not touch him with a finger of faith, but they pluck at him with a hand of malice." On the cross, Christ became the butt of remarks of these despoilers and detractors. Verse 42 of 89 reads, "You have exalted the right hand of his adversaries. You have made all his enemies rejoice." Lord, you have allowed your adversaries to work their will and accomplish their purpose. It seems as if you sided with your enemy, and they rejoice over the success of their murderous plans and triumphs. What happened to your covenant with your people? Verse 43 of 89 reads, "You also turn back the edge of the sword and have not made him stand in battle." Your people's swords refuse to cut as if they had two back edges. Their weapons fail in battle. I can't write this any better than Charles Spurgeon, so here are his words. "In our time, the present church has few swords of true spiritual metal. Her sons are pliable, her ministers yield to pressure. We need men whose edges cannot be turned, firm for their faith, keen against error, sharp toward sin, cutting their way into men's hearts. Courage and decision are more needed now than ever, for charity toward heresy is the fashionable vice, and indifference to all truth under the label of liberal-mindedness is a crowning virtue of this age." It sounds like Charles Spurgeon wrote this in 1990 rather than several hundred years ago.